Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the new meta update and we're going to rank all the Pokemon. Usually I do this video quite early on, just because that's kind of a nice way of kind of already looking into what could be good and what could not be that great. But today I actually have it quite a bit late. You already saw a lot of videos on the channel towards the new season, and I think this is kind of the better way now, because what we can do is we can actually take a look at a bit better at those changes here, and we know already a little bit more towards them. Even though we don't know all the values for them. We don't know the energy value of a lot of the different updates that are going to happen here, so we have to see and see how this is going to go. But today we're going to take a look at this. Let's see here today on how those Pokemon are going to rank, at least in my opinion. Let me know down below where I am wrong. This can of course always kind of happen. And today let's take a look here. First, we're going to have Venusaur. Venusaur getting access to the move Sludge. It's going to be kind of nice because it's going to be very, very fast paced for this Pokemon. Going to be an immediate upgrade for it. But Venusaur is going to be one of those Pokemon that's going to have a lot of play for the upcoming meta as well, thanks to Sludge being added. Do I think it's going to be top tier? Not really, but it's going to be usable pick, and that's kind of where the A tier is for. S Pokemon are like kind of the Pokemon you're going to see most of the time. S Plus is like really overpowered Pokemon. I'm not too sure we're going to have a lot of them here today. And of course, Spice is something that you can still use just to be funny, and Nope is just a Pokemon that you don't want to use at all. And so we're going to have here next up the Charizard. Getting access to Ember and the Dragon Breath is going to be a very close one to even S+. I think that this Pokemon is going to have a lot of play. I can see that this Pokemon is going to most likely win a regional as well. It's going to be a cool Pokemon. It's going to be a cool Pokemon. It's going to have a lot of play in the upcoming meta. We're going to have Hero next, getting access to Drill Run, as well as Peck getting buffed. Peck, we don't know the energy yet for it. We assume it's going to be a Shadow Claw clone. Based on that assumption, I would put into the A tier. I don't think it's going to be worth putting into the S tier. Cool Pokemon though, cool coverage. Just the stats itself, the typing itself, not really that exciting, and that's why the A tier is, I guess, fitting. Raichu got buffed a bit with the Volt Switch, but honestly, it's not enough to even put buff Nope. Like Spice, yeah, you can run it sometimes like as a funny Pokemon, but I can't see this Pokemon having a lot of play in the current meta. We're going to have here, next up, the Nidoqueen, getting access to the move Mud Slap. Yeah, Mud Slap as a fast move. Going to be better. Definitely for it, getting it an interesting moveset as well with a Stone Edge, but it's not going to be S tier, for sure not. A tier is where it kind of deserves to be. Ninetales, I could definitely see having some potential now. With Ember getting buffed, with Weatherball getting buffed, Ninetales could have some potential. I do think it's just a worse version though, compared to that Charizard, and that's why I decided to kind of put it a little bit below this one. But I think that Ninetales is still a cool Pokemon. Charizard has a better typing and a bit better coverage, also with the new move Air Cutter there. Next up is going to be the other Ninetales, which I'm going to put into A tier. Getting buffed with Weather Ball is kind of cool. But that's kind of it for this one. And now we're going to have Wigglytuff next, which in my opinion is still going to be S. And if it's like PvP Poke, it would be an S+ Pokemon. I'm not too sure. I think it's still going to get buffed no matter what. I think it's going to be a very cool Pokemon. I think S+ for this Pokemon generally is though worth it. Next we're going to have Dodrio here next. This is going to be also a Pokemon that got buffed with the pack, but also has access to Trailblaze and Brave Bird. And it's going to be a bit better than Fearow, but absolutely not S tier. I feel like a lot of Pokemon going to land in the A tier pick here today. We're going to have here next up also the Hypno. Hypno is going to be an interesting Pokemon. I think it's still going to be an A tier pick. I think it's a cool Pokemon to run. I don't really think it's going to be with Spice. It got buffed as well with the upcoming season with Confusion, getting more energy generation, where again, we don't actually know on how much it is going to be. And we are also going to have here now the Alomaric having Flame Wheel. Currently, Flame Wheel seems to be quite bad on PvP Poke. I do think it's going to be buffed a bit better than what it shows on PvP Poke. My assumption is going to be 80 energy, 45 energy, 80 damage, 45 energy. Good job, me. And I think with that, this Pokemon is going to have some potential with it. Then again, though, do you really want to run it? Shadow Bone is already kind of cool. You have Bone Club, which is kind of nice coverage. It doesn't really need it, so I'm going to put a Spice pick with that move. I don't think it's going to be really something that you're going to see a lot of times. Lickitung is going to be not really back. I think A tier is kind of where it deserves to be. I don't think it's going to be top tier again, but got buffed with Body Slam. We have another very cool Spice pick though, is going to be the Peck version here of the, I forgot the name, Seeking. I'm going to have double legacy charge moveset now, but Peck is going to be a non-legacy move, which is actually going to be better for it, which is kind of hilarious. And so, I do think it's going to be an interesting Pokemon for sure. And also gonna see here next is going to be Gyarados, a Pokemon that I actually gonna put into S tier and it's close to S plus in my opinion. This Pokemon looks like a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a Pokemon that's going to have a lot of potential because what it can do is it's just going to have like a lot of potential, especially as Haste Swap. It's a Dragon Breath user. Dragon Breath got changed. Dragon Breath going to allow you to generate energy faster. You have Aqua Tail, which you're going to get to very, very fast. You have Crunch as an option. This Pokemon is going to have a lot of potential for the upcoming season, and in my opinion is one of those Pokemon that you should definitely build as a Shadow if you haven't done it yet. Zapdos is still a cool spice. Got buffed a bit with Drill Peck, not the biggest buff, but yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Wouldn't really say it would deserve any other position here though, so that is kind of it for this one. Dragonair, I think going to be S tier. I think it's going to be a very, very, very cool Pokemon. I think it's going to be something that we are going to see quite often as well. And I think it's going to be a cool one, for sure. Now we're going to have Dragonite next. We can go and put this one into the A tier. I don't think it's going to be as good as Dragonair. Dragonair is going to be a Pokemon that, yeah, it is going to have a lot of play more because of the Aqua Tail that it has. We have, Thunder Punch as well on the Dragonite, which is kind of nice. You have Superpower. Maybe Dragonite is the better lead matchup because you're going to be able to generate energy quite fast, but you kind of lose your Dragon Stab damage that you had a lot before, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting one. Typhlosion is going to exist here as well. This Pokemon is going to be an interesting one as well, having Ember on it buffed, which allows it to get fast to the moves, and I do think it's going to have actually some impact on it. I do think that this Pokemon is going to enjoy the recent meta shift quite a bit. So yeah, I do think that this is going to be very, very cool. I think it's going to be a very nice update for it because it's going to give it a little bit more speed than before. That being said, I see both ways could work out. Like both ways definitely could work out well for it. We have to see if Incinerate is going to be better or Ember, but it is what it is. Xatu got a lot of buffs, has access to Pack, has I think some other update there as well. It's bad. Psyshock got added to it as well. I think Psyshock also got added to the Raichu, that's why it's in here. It's not really a great move to have. Ampharos though is going to be an interesting one here for sure. Ampharos is going to be a Pokemon that you're going to maybe want to have with a Volt Switch, but then again, it's just a spicy pick. I think Ampharos is kind of cool with the coverage it has. It has a lot of coverage on this Pokemon, which is cool to have, but it's not going to be crazy. Politoed is going to be also more of a spicy one. Has access to Weather Ball. Weather Ball Water is going to be an interesting thing there because I think it's actually going to be quite strong next season. Politoed is definitely one of those Pokemon that can use it the best. There are other Pokemon as well that you're going to have later that can still use it, but this is going to be one of the better ones. But it's still not going to be a Pokemon that's going to have a lot of dominance in the meta. What we see here next is going to be Murkrow. Murkrow, I feel like if it comes to it like we expect it to be, I think it would be a very, very cool S tier pick. It's very, very low on S tier. It's never going to be close to like S plus or anything like this, but I think it's like such a fun Pokemon. I just need to have it here, sorry. Like, even if you disagree, I think most people would mostly put it to A or Spice or whatever, but I feel like it kind of deserves to be here. The thing is, by the way, as well, again, I saw a lot of those tier lists already for the Show 6 Pick 3 format. This is for Go Battle League here. This is not for that. Like, Go Battle League and those have completely different metas. That's just for you to know that as well. Otherwise, here we're going to have next up the Slowking. This Pokemon has access to Acid. It's a spice pick. Acid got buffed last season, but also this Pokemon has, I think, now Psyshock, which is really good on it, to be fair. It's really, really nice to have this one on there. But yeah, again, we don't really know on if it's going to have some potential. It looks kind of bad on paper, but I think it's cool because there's great moveset in general. I don't know. Just doesn't really have those matchups there. Steelix S+. Steelix absolutely S+. There is no other way around it. Like, absolutely no other way around it. I don't know. Like, I find it really, really crazy on how good this Pokemon is going to be. And I'm kind of scared on if this Pokemon isn't a bit too strong. Magcargo, I honestly think it's going to be a cool Pokemon as well, and I can't really help myself but other than putting it into the S tier. I think this Pokemon is a very, very fun Pokemon to run. And so yeah, I think it's going to be cool with Ember. Ember's going to make it faster. We're going to make it an interesting lead matchup there as well. But yeah, next up we're going to have Kingdra. I put it into low 8 tier. I can't see it really being that great. It has great record basically in the meta, but I really still can't really see that this is going to be a great one for sure. Like, I just can't really see it there, I have to say. Next up is going to be here the Raikou. Gonna be more of a spice pick. I wouldn't really see that we're gonna see this Pokemon a lot. Austria is kind of cool on it, but that's it. Same, I don't really think that this Pokemon, the Lugia, is going to be anything other than spice as well, because Lugia it is kind of cool with the way it is here. It's kind of cool that it has like access to Dragon Tail, which is going to generate energy faster again. It is going to be a Pokemon that has access to Fly, which is kind of cool and really is well together. It has also very solid bulk, but I just can't really see this Pokemon perform too well. Honestly, I can't really see that. Next up, we're going to have your Celebi. If Seed Bomb was 35 energy, this Pokemon going to get up into A tier. Otherwise, it's going to be into Nope. Yeah, 35 energy on this would have been really cool, because what you have as well is that this Pokemon has Confusion buff and it's got access to Aura Sphere. So it got like a big buff towards it. I really hope that it is going to be that, 35 energy move on that Seed Bomb. I think it would be the right play also from Niantic's or like Scopely's point of view. But yeah, right now, at the time that's currently predicted, I don't think it's going to have some play, but maybe in the future. I think that this Pokemon is kind of cool. Breaking Stab is actually kind of cool now as well on the Sceptile. I'm going to, of course, put it into Spice. There's nothing else that I can really do about it, but it's going to be an interesting Pokemon there. We're going to have Pelipper next. Pelipper is going to be an A-tier pick. I think it has a great typing, and also Weather Ball is going to help quite a bit. We're going to have the Lairon here next. This is going to have access to the move Body Slam, which is kind of cool. And with that, this Pokemon got buffed as well. I'm still going to put it into the Nope tier. I still can't really see that this Pokemon is going to have a lot of play, but maybe have some fun with it. I guess could be kind of Spice as well. But anyway, we're going to have Flygon here next. Flygon we can put into the Nope tier as well. The thing is here, Flygon got access to Sand Tomb. It's not going to help it. Altaria, I thought, for example, Altaria would have put way higher up before looking more into it. I think Altaria is way balanced, and I think A tier is where Altaria deserves to be. Anything else I think is a little bit too much. We're going to have some nice Spice here together with that, what's called the Milotic, which is kind of cool. And now we're going to have the 4 Weather Pokemon here, basically, with all Weather Ball getting buffed. Spice for the normal one has all of the Weather Balls, kind of, other than Fire, I think. I think also not Water, there's like Rock and normal Weather Ball, interestingly enough. We're going to have here the Fire one, which is going to be a pick there as well. I think it's just a little bit worse than the Ninetales in my opinion. Yeah, we're going to have the Water one, which is going to be A, and we're going to have the Ice one, which is going to be more Spice. I think Ice are going to be better Pokemon like the Ninetales can use it better. Cedo going to be A tier, got access to got buffed with Water Pulse. It wants to use the one, as well as Body Slam. So both could be solid options to it, but you have also Surf on it, so I think that Surf is going to be still better than Water Pulse. Shelgon is going to be Nope. Yeah, sorry, like Salmon's going to be Nope as well. I can't see this Pokemon performing well. Same goes, sadly, for the Latias. Latios, on the other hand, I feel like has some potential, some Spice, so I'm going to put it in here as well. We're going to have Jirachi, S tier. I'm going to stand on this, that Jirachi is S tier. I think that this Pokemon deserves to be in the S tier. Nothing else I can really say towards it. I think it's going to be a cool Pokemon that can break the meta. That's all I can say. Big buff, Confusion, great. Doom Desire, great. Focus, the Aura Sphere is great. This Pokemon is going to be cool. Next up, we're going to have Torterra. Torterra is a Pokemon that I would put into the Spice pick. I don't think it's going to be great at all, but I think it's going to be a fun pick to run. Next up, we're going to have Empoleon, S+, from what we've seen so far. This Pokemon deserves the spot. This Pokemon is going to be very nice to build. We have Roserade. By the way, if not everything is on the screen later, you still see where I'm going to put it anyway if you watch the video. Roserade I'm going to put into the Nope tier. I don't think this Pokemon has some potential. It has Weather Ball getting buffed. We have the buff on Bastion, which puts it into S+ for the Great League. Again, this is Go Battle League. This is not Show 6 Pick 3. Bastion is not that great in Show 6 Pick 3. In Great League it is. It is just very strong. We have the Gastrons as well, which I'm going to put both, of course, they're the same into the S tier. They are very good. Pachirisu is going to be next, which we're going to put into more the A tier. This Pokemon got access to some coverage and a buff to Volt Switch, which is kind of nice. Bronzong is a Spice pick. It's kind of cool with Confusion. I think it's going to be a cool Pokemon to run, but it's going to be... I think that like Jirachi is just a better version of it. Garchomp, I just have to put into Nope. Funny enough, I thought that the Hippowdon would be better, but it actually isn't that much better. I put it into A tier. It's still a good Pokemon to run though. Obama I put it into S tier here. I think Obama is going to have a lot of potential next season, with Water Ball being buffed as well as Leafage on it. We have Magnezone, which I'm going to put into the A tier. I think it's going to be a cool anti-meta pick. Victini is sadly in the Spice pick. It's not going to be that great. I can scroll down a little bit so you can see everything again. We're going to have next here the Whimsicott, S tier in my opinion, if it's 35 energy. Still low S tier maybe if it's 40 energy. I think Whimsicott is very cool with the typing it has. I guess A is a little bit more what people most likely would agree with. I think Whimsicott deserves better though. We're going to have here next up the Crocodile, which is going to be a nope. We have the Crustle, which is going to be an A tier. As said before, A tier is going to be where the most amount of Pokemon going to be. Look at Galarian Stunfisk and don't tell me it's an S tier. Like, this Pokemon looks amazing for the new season. Based on the current predictions from PvPoke, it's just a Pokemon that got buffed with Rock Slide, but just kind of got, with the typing it has and the coverage it has, very much into focus for the next season because it has a lot of potential against a lot of Pokemon. We have a Druddigon next. Druddigon is going to be a Pokemon that we are going to be able to put into the Spice Pick. It's not going to be that great. Dragon Tail is kind of nice on it, getting buffed, but Rock Tomb is kind of cool on it as well, but I don't think it's going to have that much play. Still fun to have a Pokemon getting buffed like this. It still has some potential in some certain matchups, so I don't really think it's going to be that bad. Swilus, I'm going to put into high A tier. Got buffed with Body Slam as well, has Dark Pulse coverage. Cool Pokemon, Dragon Breath getting buffed, could even be better than A tier. Honestly, could definitely see that. Aegislash, it's depending between S plus and S, depending on how the change is going to happen there. If it's actually 50 energy, I guess S is kind of where I would imagine it's going to end up. If it's 50 energy for Gyro Ball, this Pokemon is going to be way better. Aurorus is going to be A tier. I like this Pokemon, but I don't think it's better. Carving, I always kind of dislike a little bit more than the Bastion. I think S is where it deserves to be. Goodra is a good alternative compared to the Dragonair, but Dragonair is superior. We have Seed Bomb user here again with the Pumpkaboo, I think it's called, or like the evolution of it, whatever. I'm going to be in the Spice Pick. I can't really see this. I forgot actually Trevenant, I think I skipped over Trevenant. Trevenant would be A tier if I would be able to still put it in there. We're going to have Dartrix next. This thing is going to be S. I can't really see it not being S tier. I think Dartrix is kind of cool for the Go Battle League. I think it kind of takes the niche that, or like the overall that the Jumpluff had before. I think that's kind of where Dartrix is going to be. The evolution is actually a little bit worse in my opinion. I think that the Decidueye, even with the Leafage boost, kind of deserves only the A tier. Astonish is kind of cool on it, and I think Astonish is better than Leafage still on this Pokemon. Because you already have hard-hitting Grass type damage on it with the move Frenzy Plant. Your fast move should be Ghost type, especially with a move like the Spirit Shackle on it. Yeah, and if you want to then run the Brave Bird moveset of this Pokemon, it's just better to go for the pre-evolution, which has Stab Brave Bird. So, again, I think it's going to be better to run the pre-evolution here of it. And Incineroar is going to be only Spice, not going to be too great. The Primarina can be cool with a Charm as well, but I think for the Great League it's a nope. A nope is also the Q-Cannon, which got buffed with the Peck. An A-tier pick, or actually I would put into S-tier pick, actually here is going to be the, forgot the Pokemon there, the Charger Bug. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's good in the meta. I think it has a lot of potential in the meta. We have Arachnid, which is also S-tier pick in my opinion, because of the buff to Water Pulse. It's going to help it out quite a bit even. We have the Lurantis, cool anti-meta A-tier pick. Turtonator, I can't put it higher than A-tier. I can't see this Pokemon has as much potential than what people say or what the ranking says. I think A tier is kind of already far-fetched for it, and it's like rank 20 or something on the ranking, and I still think it's only A tier. Drampa, I can kind of put here into the Spice Pick more. It's kind of funny because Dragon Breath is going to help it out quite a bit. Maybe A tier actually. Fly getting there faster is cool, and then Body Slam getting there faster is kind of nice as well, so I guess A tier is kind of where it deserves to be. We have the Hakomo now, which I'm gonna put into the S tier. I think it's gonna be cool, same as Komo. I think both of them deserve the spot here. Gastrodon is S+. Gastrodon absolutely is S+ with a new change. Based on what PvPoke says, with Dragon Tail getting change, I think it's definitely an S+ Pokemon. We have Melmetal, cool Spice Pick, good buff with Rock Slide. S+ is also the Regidrago, based on what we know so far. Definitely deserves the spot. Neoscarada, cool Spicy Pick that I want to play for sure. Dexpon, an S tier Charmer. The change to Charm, now definitely going to be able to get to the Psychic Fangs after only 5 Charms, which is really, really cool. Toadscroll, we got buff for Seed Bomb as well. If it's 35, it's going to be a bit higher. I think 80 is where it deserves to be. And then we're going to have here the Arctibex, which also got buffed. I put into low A tier, and this is going to be my meta tier list basically for the next season. This is based on what I've seen so far, on what those Pokemon can do. There's a bit of bias here with like something like a Murkrow has to be a very, very low. We don't know about like a lot of the energy values, that's why also something like the Aegislash we can't really say too much. I think it's going to be 50 energy for Gyro Ball, which is why I put Aegislash into the S tier. But yeah, this is going to be it for my tier list. Let me know down below what you are thinking. Do you think this is kind of an accurate representation? Would you disagree with some of the stuff? I feel like Bronzong I could put into the A tier as well. Still, if I like think about some more of the things here, I would most likely change some of the movement here. Yeah, I think it's kind of more accurate now. Anything else I would want to change? I don't really think so. I think I'm kind of happy with the tier list here. I think it's kind of an accurate representation for the Go Battle League meta, not for Show 6 Big 3. And so, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.